What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Trust the Bank podcast. We're doing a live stream. Wanted to talk with you guys, give our thoughts on, everything that's been happening with the Ravens recently. Nothing major has happened, but obviously training camp, practices are back. Football returns this week. Browns, Jets in the Hall of Fame game. And then the Ravens get to start playing in the preseason very, very soon. So that's always exciting. But the big topic right now is, the 53-man roster. Who's going to be able to make that team? So we'll definitely be talking about that, positional battles, the smaller stuff, the Melvin Gordon signing, maybe some J.K. Dobbins stuff, maybe get into some, just overall running back stuff, with the Jonathan Taylor news and whatnot. But if you guys ever have any questions, comments, and players you want us to talk about, just leave it in the comment section down below. I'll post it to the podcast platforms as well. So, if anybody wants to re-listen or something like that, feel free to do so. And if you're listening on the podcast platforms and a re-listen, what's going on? I hope you guys are having a good day. The chef is in the chat already. How you doing, the chef? And even more importantly, Joshua, how are you doing today?
Oh man, just to know that football is on the way back. I mean, between college football, you hear about the commits, the decommits, and the different schools from high school, even putting out the national schedules. And now you get to the big leagues to talk about the Baltimore Ravens and this possible Super Bowl run. Man, it's exciting, man. It's exciting to know that we got football back on the way. Even though Lamar Jackson was out there, at the concert at Drake's concert. We just hoping that the Drake curse don't follow him this season. But it's good. It's good to know that we got football on the way, man, and it's exciting to hear certain news. It's good to know within the first couple of days of training camp, knock on wood, no nothing serious in regards to injuries or anything of that nature has been spewing about of our camp. So I'm looking forward, man, to see what we do, man, to see how we capitalize on this momentum, to see, the nuance of the offense, seeing possibly Justice Hill continuing to run north and south, things of that nature. So yeah, man, it's a lot of exciting things um that's about to come about.
Yeah, no, this is always a fun time of the year because we have so many players that we're hyped up to see, right? Whether it's rookies or players that didn't get a lot of playing time, the
Yeah.
previous year or whatnot. And then we finally start to get to see it through practice and through the preseason. And, I love the preseason. I probably am more excited for preseason games versus the regular season. Obviously, outside of big rivalries, because I love watching those guys get an opportunity. And I love watching the wide receiver battles, and obviously some of the preseason games, like a large part of it, is really boring, and it's just like you get to the fourth quarter, and it's like okay, zero of these players are making the team, but it's still sometimes
Right.
a little bit fun to see. But speaking of someone that we're going to be able to see, shout out to Lisa for asking the question. Charlie Kohler, basically didn't play last year. He was out for most of the season. I think he got a few snaps, here and there once he did come back. But
Yeah.
he was drafted before Isaiah Likely, I believe. Now they were drafted in the same round, so it's not that big of a deal. But overall, like you're looking at it, Isaiah Likely was a stud last year. Kohler was looking to be the Josh Oliver of sorts, but now
Yeah.
we no longer have Greg Roman. Is the three tight end offense like are the Ravens keeping three tight ends and a fullback on their roster this year?
That's a great question. And I text you Saturday. I said what I said. Ben Mason caught a touchdown. So if we can get a guy coming out the backfield, that's still able to block and still be, a performing high end tight end, I think that's something that they will definitely do. But I definitely do feel like it's possible that we still keep three tight ends and a fullback. I mean, hell, I believe they did that in Georgia. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um,
I
I
think
mean,
they did, but
okay.
I think college you get like 100 players. You
I
get
mean,
a lot more
that
players in
that true,
college that can
true,
play.
true. I mean, I do see us keeping three tight ends. I do
Okay.
see us keeping three tight ends for the simple fact of Adam 78 bye Ricard. I mean, hey man, we love Pat for the type of offensive style of play that we did with the hard nose running, but seeing what Todd Monken is possibly going to bring, and it's been It's been rumored that he's going to bring that spread type of offense to this to the Ravens, especially the type of offense that Lamar Jackson succeeded in, that he used in college. Let me just throw that out there. So I don't know if Ricard's going to be gone for sure. I know we did record an episode previously. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead, tap in. We did talk about Patrick Ricard being a Swiss Army knife, putting him back on defense just in case of just as a liability, as a backup, assurance policy type of situation. But I definitely feel like we'll keep 3 tight ends. It's up in the air about fullbacks though. I feel like in this offense that we're bringing about, I feel like you have to do more. And Patrick Ricard, for his body type and frame, I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he will succeed in the type of offense that we're trying to run. It's no knock against him. It's no knock against him. It's just this is what we're trying to do. This is how we're trying to step into the new age.
Yeah, and I do like the idea of keeping Patrick Ricard because of the defensive ability, but like the benefit Patrick Ricard had in the offense. And Adam 78 says bye Ricard, and Lisa says not knocking Pat, but I won't have it. Like the thing about him in Greg Roman's offense was he was out there so much. Like it was almost every play. I mean, he was out there more than the wide receiver 2 in games. That's how much he played because he was so involved in the passing game, so involved in the blocking, obviously involved in the run game where it was like, okay, you have to have him out there. He's not going to be like that this year.
Right.
And Todd Monken is going to have a decision of, okay, do I want to keep this guy and use him? Or do I go after a guy like Ben Mason, where you look at, I think the best fullback in the NFL is still Kyle Juszczyk. Juszczyk plays tight end and fullback. And he doesn't play tight end as like Ricard does, as just another lineman. He plays tight end as a pass-catching threat. And I think that is more along the lines of what Todd Monken is going to want, is to have that pass-catching fullback. So I wouldn't be like overly shocked if the Ravens kept Ben Mason and, Charlie Kolar, or maybe Ben Mason and Pat Ricard and not keep Kolar and use Ben Mason as a pass catching guy just because, and use Ricard as a Swiss Army knife, throw him on the defensive line, special teams, and get him more to, those early years with Ricard, where it was like, I felt like initially when we had Ricard, we all loved him. It was like you saw Ricard on the field and you were excited. You're always going to lay someone out. And then more and more, we just saw him getting involved in the passing game. And it was like, oh no, we don't want this at all. This is like the worst possible outcome. Why is he out here on 3rd and 7? And it became like, okay, now we don't want to see Patrick Ricard. And that's partially because of Greg Roman. But I want to talk about this. Thank you so much, YP Cedro. It's good to see you back in the stream. It says, I heard practice away not looking too good. One thing I'll say, do not look at the trenches when the pads are not on.
No facts.
Like, it's so hard to tell, especially even against your own team, even when the pads are on. This is when you look at it. Joint practice. That is the first time I'm going to be like keying in on the trenches. How are these guys playing? Because
that's going to be later this month, right? Or well, later August.
Yeah. I want to say it's with the Commanders.
Yep.
Hold on. I want to pull up. It's like, I want to say it's like August 17th, but I want to pull up when this preseason schedule is. So when the Ravens play out. Okay. It's week 2 of the preseason for the Ravens. Wow. Ravens football returns on the 12th. That's in less than 2 weeks. That's unbelievable. Wow. That's what we like to see right there. That's what we like to see.
Time flies by so fast, man. It's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm. But like, that's when I think joint practices are so much more valuable than a lot of people give credit for from the fans' perspective, because it helps you see not from the Ravens media. What I always like to do is I don't read Ravens media about practice that way. I mean, I might read it a little bit, but I'll read all the other beat writers. So I'll go to the Washington Commanders website and I'll read their stuff. I'll go to ESPN and read their stuff because they always mention it a little bit. And you'll say they won't mention it a lot, but they'll be like, this is the Commanders. Maybe they write like, Terry McLaurin had a couple of great battles against maybe it's Pepe Williams. And Pepe ended up getting an interception, but Terry McLaurin ended up scoring a touchdown in red zone drills or something like that. And they used to say, okay, Pepe made a play. Enough to where another team brought it up, because the Ravens writers are going to talk about everybody, and they're not going to say, oh, this guy sucked. Very rarely they do. YPC, thanks so much again for the super chat. Says they had pads on today. Ojabo outplayed them. I'm not surprised by that. I think Ojabo's a better pass rusher.
That's nothing new right there, honestly. We knew that. I mean, bro, people got to realize, man, at Penn State, that was Odafe job was not to get sacks. It was just to create havoc. Like, they had a raw talent, and they didn't really take the time to mold them. They just did what they can do. They put him in a Power 5 school. Everybody else ate, and he got picked up in the first round by the Baltimore Ravens, which I feel like he could have been a third round, second round pick. But hey, it is what it is. We got the pass rush whisperer in the facility, so hopefully we can see an improvement and upgrade into Odafe's away game. And if we can get David Ojabo out there on the field more, we definitely could possibly see him be able to get I'm gonna go with 5 sacks. I'm gonna be generous. Hopefully we can get 5 sacks out of Odafe. He says 10. If he shows out and do that, hey, shut my mouth up and get us to the Super Bowl. Right now I'm saying 5, because we got to start off somewhere with Odafe. This is third year, correct?
Yes, third year.
Okay, so usually sometimes our pass rushers, our defensive guys, our project guys do come alive in the third year. So this could be a make it or break a year for him, honestly.
Yeah, and the benefit of him is we do have that 5th-year option if he breaks out next year. I think that's something that is very undervalued with the first-round pick, and that's why the Lamar Jackson trade was so important. Trading with Philadelphia to get that 32nd pick back in 2018 was you get that extra year guaranteed if you want them. So that's always very valuable, and I always like having that. We also have that with Bateman as well. I think both of those guys have underperformed in terms of expectations for a lot of people. Bateman on the field, I think he's been very solid. I think he's been the player that I expected. I think he was used very poorly, and his skill set was not, properly represented. But I think even when he was doing things that he shouldn't be doing, he still looked good, just hasn't been on the field. Odafe, in my opinion, I said this when he was drafted, I didn't expect him to come in and be good at all. Like, I was surprised. I was better than I thought his rookie year. And obviously you hope that you're going to see improvement every year, but it's like, he's one of those players where it's like, this guy was seen as a project, and Ojabo was not. Problem was Ojabo was we got to wait 1 year and then we get to actually see him play, but he's an instant impact type of player. That's what I think a lot of Ravens fans wanted in that draft, but there really wasn't anybody available. If you're looking back at it, that draft class, just thinking off the top of my head, right? It was Jalen Phillips. It was he was the big guy, and then it was Gregory Rousseau, Kwity Paye, the guy out of Georgia that went to the Giants.
Azeez, right?
Azeez Ojulari. Boogie Basham, I remember, was in that draft class. I can't think of anybody else. There were definitely other guys. Boogie ended up going to like the 4th.
Shaka was a late rounder guy.
Yeah, Shaka was a 6th rounder. There wasn't anybody in that draft class, though, you were looking at it and you were like, this guy's going to take over.
Yeah.
Then the next year, it was like, okay, there's a lot of players that can take over. And it was like Aiden Hutchinson. You have Kayvon Thibodeau, David Ojabo prior to injury. Those were 3 guys that were like instant impact type of players. And then you had, just the crazy potential of Trayvon Walker ended up going 1st overall. Overall, it was just like, okay, these are instant impact type of players. The year before that, it wasn't. They were good players. No, I have no problem with Kwity Paye, Jalen Phillips, even Odafe, but
I knew somebody was going to ask. Someone was going to ask.
I will do whatever it takes to bring in Chase Young. Like I'm a huge Chase Young fan. He's worth a lot more than that. The Commanders are going to try and re-sign him. I think they just want to probably get less injury guarantees than using the 5th-year option. That's my expectation. I think he stays, or at least they try and keep him. I expect them to maybe franchise tag him, but I don't think he gets traded.
I mean, honestly, the two guys that if you want to offer players as trade value for Chase Young, it would be Patrick Queen and JK. And these two young men are actually part of the future that the Ravens are building. Granted that they're after this season, they're going to be up for contract negotiations, but the Ravens are not going to let them just walk out the door. And I feel like Patrick Queen and JK will both have breakout years, and they both will be healthy, and both will be, strong points on the defensive side and offensive side of the ball. But if they saw no future with neither one of them, I feel like you would package them with like a 2024 2025 third round pick type of situation to get Chase Young. That way, it won't. I don't know how much space it will open up as far as the cap space wise, but you give some appealing pieces for Chase Young, because Chase Young is not even 28. He's not even 27. He still got some good years ahead of him. All he gotta do is just stay healthy.
Yeah, and I think there's a better player to trade for in terms of discussions. What do you guys think about Jonathan Taylor?
Wow. Excuse me. Jim Irsay already said it. He ain't going nowhere. No accent, not Toby. He's not going.
Like
on that one,
dude. Jim Irsay is such a clown. It's one of the situations where, obviously JT would be a huge addition for the Ravens, but at the same time, how are they going to go after him? Are you giving you're only getting 1 year, JT? He's likely not resigning. You're likely not going to pay him. It's just JT's a running back that wants to get paid as the top paid running back in the NFL, but he's not the best running back in the NFL. The top paid running back is Christian McCaffrey, and Christian McCaffrey is a wide receiver and a running back. That's why he's paid so much, and he produces as such. If you guys don't believe me, I'm going to pull up Christian McCaffrey's stats when he joined the San Francisco 49ers. Last year on the Niners, in 10 games, 746 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns, 464 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns on 52 receptions. That is incredible production from one player.
I mean, yeah, definitely when you think about it, man. Christian McCaffrey damn near been the offense for the Carolina Panthers, and I'm not going to say he's been the whole offense for the 49ers, but he definitely was a great added addition to what they to who they are now.
I believe they didn't lose a game once he went to San Francisco.
See,
maybe they lost one, but I think they won every game because they got him and Purdy at the same time.
That was for the playoff push, right? And I mean, he was about to play QB. In a playoff
and he did play quarterback. Yeah, that was rough. That was a rough playoff game. I feel sorry for the Niners fans. YPC, thank you so much again for the super chat. It says Trenton Simpson was causing havoc today's practice, slammed into Gordon, shoving back into Tylenol Wallace. I haven't seen that one. I know Void's going to love that one. Tylenol Wallace. Oh my gosh, that's good. And he ends up typing Tylen. I think it was a typo, but that is an incredible typo right there. That is an incredible typo.
Oh man, that's funny. That is really funny.
Oh my god, Trent Simpson's a dog. That guy, yes, he's very raw, but his athleticism shows, and I think he's a lot more athletic than Patrick Queen. And yes, he's kind of a safety, but he's really just a crazy fast linebacker that's going to come in nickel spots and again cause havoc. Get after it. Rush the passer, right? Like the one thing Patrick Queen does very well that I would say he's elite at is blitz from the linebacker position, from the middle linebacker position. He might be the best in the NFL at doing it. If Trenton Simpson can do that as well as Patrick Queen, like he will be playing a lot because that speed and strength combination that he has is going to be deadly for offenses. Even if he misses some tackles, takes some bad angles, when he figures it out, he's going to be scary.
I mean, Trenton Simpson definitely is a monster, freaking nature. I know a lot of people were happy that we got Trenton Simpson, and some people was like, "Oh, let's just go ahead and kick Patrick Queen out." Do y'all not realize that Patrick Queen is still younger than some of the guys that we drafted in this year's draft? Um, this young man still have a lot of upside, and Roquan Smith is backing him up. Anytime the defensive captain is backing up a guy, he's not going nowhere no time soon. I'm sorry. If Roquan feel like he has problems, if Mike McDonald can get the best out of him, and Patrick Queen plays some of the better ball, especially since he's on the weak side where he don't have to, have so much responsibility. I'm calling it, man. This is going to be a breakout year for him, man. He's going to play an intricate part in this defense, especially in that front seven, man. It's going to be a lot of teams, but that still run the ball. It's going to be a lot of teams that still got these mobile QBs. He's going to be the one that chased them down. He's going to be the one that hits them with that initial hit and slow them up so they can get the wrap up. So PQ's going to play a strong intricate piece. Trenton Simpson, he's going to learn. He's going to grow. He's going to become great. He's going to be a great player for this defense or even for someone else's team because you never know what can happen, in a facility during training camp or whatever the case may be. But I'm not ready to close that door, especially when someone is just 23, 24 years old. No, I just can't do it. He got too much potential. He has upside, and it's crazy.
He definitely has the upside. And Adam 78 with a good one. I put him in the thumbnail. I know people like him. Keaton Mitchell. Adam 78 says I can see Keaton Mitchell outplay Melvin Gordon during the preseason to earn a roster spot. Monken likes his speed and catching ability. Yes, absolutely. That's what he brings. Is Keaton Mitchell is explosion. Melvin Gordon is meh. That's what he is. And we've had a lot of meh at running back over the recent years as our final running back. I mean, look at Le'Veon Bell, Devontae Freeman.
I was about to say, who would you rather take as a meth running back right now? Would you call back Devontae Freeman or Kenyon Drake?
Probably Drake. I think Drake looked the best.
Yeah,
I would call that Drake most
too.
Serviceable. or not DeMarco Murray, Devontae Freeman. Who was the Raiders running back? Latavius Murray. I was like, Murray. I'm like, he's definitely Murray, not DeMarco.
Yeah.
Latavius Murray we had. Mark Ingram in his final year with the Ravens was very meh. But overall, like, I think just the major benefit is, and yes, Keaton Mitchell is undrafted out of Eastern Carolina. He's an absolute dog. He was, I think, the second fastest player in the draft class at running back. He's very evasive. And will LJ call his own plays? In certain situations, yes. But he did get rid of the wristband, which is a good thing for this type of offense. But something that a lot of coaches do, what they do, especially Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan, in my opinion, top 3 coach in the NFL. What he does is he'll give him 4 plays. And he's like, you call it at the line. And that's what, Peyton Manning was kind of the first one that started doing that. That's what the Omaha check was. That was the second play. They always came into the huddle, gave him 2 plays. Omaha was the check to the second play if they wanted it. And so that's what they would end up doing. I think the Ravens are going to give Lamar that opportunity. I don't think Greg Roman ever did it. So, in a sense, calling his own plays, obviously, in a 2-minute situation, he's going to be able to do that. But he's going to be able to audible. He's going to be able to, make those reads and call the types of plays that he wants to run. But Greg Roman didn't allow that, which was frustrating for a lot of people, including Lamar.
Well, I mean, Tom Monken said it. He's giving the keys to Lamar. So from the get go, when an OC and a head coach is showing trust into their quarterback, I think that's something we've been wanting for years, man. It's way too many times where we see run personnel. Like how are you supposed to check out of that run personnel play and try to go to a passing play or spread it out, and you got Patrick Ricard, lining up as your as your receiver. It's just not going to work. So with this offense, this nuance that Tom Monken is bringing, and I love the fact that he's saying like, "Hey, I'm gonna be in Lamar's ear, and we're gonna see another evolution of his game." I mean, shout out to Lamar even coming a week early, to training camps and things of that nature. He is showing that he's dedicated. Um, Monken shows that Monken is loving the fact that he's playing. He's gonna be coaching a future Hall of Famer. He already coached one Hall of Famer. No, he didn't. Damn, I keep on thinking he was with Tom Brady for a quick stint at Tampa. He had Jameis. My bad. But Jameis may
That's
go.
Hall of Famer right there.
I was about to say Jameis might just go in the Hall of Fame. You never know. You never know, baby. He got swag. He's a great personality for sure. But
There's a whole ESPN series named after him, 30 for 30.
but yeah, man. I mean, I definitely can see Lamar, checking down, calling his own plays. I feel like it would probably be a game to game situation type of thing.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think it'll be a lot of fun watching him and see that kind of progress throughout the season and how much leeway he's given in the offense. Early on, it might not be a lot of Lamar calls because he'll be just getting used to the system and what he likes to run. But eventually
Yeah.
down the line, I think he will start really calling those plays and making the team better.
Speaking of True TV, asked a great question. Who answered this first? Go ahead.
Do I see the Ravens keeping Anthony Brown over Huntley? No. Should the Ravens 100% absolutely cut Tyler Huntley to keep Anthony Brown? Yes.
Anthony Brown has to go crazy for the next 3 games. I mean, crazy these 3 preseason games. I'm talking about 300 yards and possibly 4 touchdowns every game, or 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. He just got to play. He got to play out of body. But I feel like he would be a better QB than Tyler Huntley. There's nothing against Snoop. Snoop sometimes he just makes poor decisions when he's out there on the field. And I feel like even when Anthony Brown threw all the interceptions that he threw, he still kept his composure, he still kept his calm, and he still damn near helped us come back and win the game.
Yeah, I think it's just like I don't think we're getting rid of Snoop. I think Lamar likes him. Snoop could maybe be all right in a different offense. As much as I dislike watching him play, maybe in a more pass happy system, he'll be better. But I don't know. I'm not a big fan of his. I don't think he's very good.
Yeah,
It's rough. Rough scenes.
it's rough as hell, man. I think I was asked the question like, if you had to beat up a player, who would it be, and what would the reason be behind beating him up? It would be Snoop for trying to jump over the damn power line. Um, just this past preseason game, man. I mean, playoff game against the Bengals.
That was a rough one. What's up,
Don
Don
C, what's going
C?
on?
The legend, Don C.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, if I could beat up any guy, Billy Cundiff.
Oh man, who dropped the pass? Oh, it was before the second drop
Oh,
pass. So
yeah,
I
it
think it was
was
like Lee Evans or something like that.
I don't think it was Lee Evans. It was started with a C.
Chris Moore.
No, way before that.
Oh no, I don't know, but it gets some. It worries me something, man. It worries me something. So thank you.
Oh, it
Check.
was Lee Evans. Okay.
Okay.
Rough.
Very rough, man. All day. Esco, what's going on, man? How you feeling today?
Yeah, it was Lee Evans. That was rough.
But we got a lot of things coming on the way. I mean, honestly, I see. We thank y'all for everybody that voted on the about bringing Madden, about the Madden tournament. So me and McConnell gonna talk about it. We're gonna work it out. See how we gonna get the logistics together.
Yeah, gotta figure out how to do that. How does Jordan Swan looked in practice? I have no idea.
I've heard he had up and downs before. He had some up and downs, but I mean, these past couple this week and today, I haven't heard nothing, honestly. So it's been quiet.
Oh man, Justin Tucker, first ballot Hall of Famer. It's tough to get in the Hall of Fame as a kicker. I want to say there's only 2, which is tough. But I would say he should be.
And he definitely makes an argument for it. I mean, who was the last one that's made it in? Adam Vinatieri?
I don't know if Vinatieri's in yet. I don't know if he has eligibility.
Man,
Let's see.
that's tough.
Like I think Morton Anderson. Four kickers are in the Hall of Fame. It's in, when did this article come out? 2022. Okay, so this is probably accurate. Morton Anderson, yep. Jan Stenrud, George Blanda, and Lou Grazo.
Okay.
So yeah, Vinatieri's not in. I don't think he's been eligible yet. But he'll get it. Vinatieri will get in.
No, for sure.
But yeah, it's the same thing with like safeties. Like safety is really hard to get into the Hall of Fame for some reason. I don't know why. Like there was like Steve Atwater had trouble getting in. Like he wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer. And like there were concerns like whether or not Troy Polamalu would be a first ballot Hall of Famer because of how difficult it was for like Atwater to get in. There were even some concerns about Ed Reed getting in first ballot because they were like, they're not getting in, like the safeties, which makes no sense because I swear if you're an offensive lineman, you play for 15 years, they automatically put you into the Hall of Fame. Like I ain't ever seen a offensive lineman play for 15 years and not make it to the Hall.
That's one of the more,
like when Andrew Whitworth makes the Hall of Fame, someone just come back here because Andrew Whitworth is not a Hall of Fame tackle, but he'll make it because he played long enough.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. What other teams you feel like is going to make a playoff push this upcoming season?
Playoff push? I think the Jags are going to get after it. I think the let's see. I mean, I don't think the Cowboys are a hot take.
So
I think the Cowboys get there.
Dak Prescott is the Cowboys' worst.
I'll say the Bears. Bears are my team.
Ooh.
That's my sneaky team. Go Bears. I'll say that. I love Justin.
It's a strong possibility. Well, Justin Fields is a good QB, man. He just ain't got no O-line. I mean, they added DJ Moore, as far as a weapon, but
they did draft a first-round tackle. They drafted the guy to Tennessee, I think.
Okay.
Who's a dog. So it's like they did boost the O-line. They added DJ Moore. I think they'll be really good.
I definitely see Miami making it to the playoffs.
Yeah, they did lose Ramsey. I don't know. It'll be tough in that division. I mean, you got to beat Belichick, which is always tough. I don't care what team he has. And then Bills are probably the best team in the division, in my opinion. And the Jets. Jets could be good. They could be bad. I don't know.
Just never know.
You never know.
You really never know, man, with them, man.
People to count on in the playoffs or regular season, probably not Aaron Rodgers or the Jets.
This is true. But I do feel like Garrett Wilson will probably go for 1,000 yards with Aaron Rodgers as a QB.
Oh, yeah. Justin Fields talking reckless about passing LJ8 and rushing yards in terms of in a season, or
I mean, that's cool.
He could.
He has no O-line. He's running. He's literally running for his life. I mean, when Lamar runs, he's running, when it's a broken play. When Justin Fields run, he's just running for his life to keep things alive. So I mean, it's two different type of run styles,
Like Justin Fields wasn't being called on designed quarterback runs; he was scrambles. I mean, Lamar's a better runner than Fields, but Fields runs more because he had to. Now he has wide receivers. Fields wants to be a passer. Lamar also wants to be a passer. The real question is which one of them throws for more yards this year. That's the debate I want to see people make.
Oh, of course, they're not going to make that debate.
Doesn't fit the narrative, I guess.
Of course not. Come on now.
No.
Shucks. Justin Herbert just got paid money, and they didn't bring nothing up about none of his playoff wins or playoff appearances or anything of that nature. So, hey.
Yep.
and Justin Herbert had an agent. So hey,
hey, that just means Herbie gets less money.
I'm just saying.
Yep. All right. Let's see here. Anything else you want to talk about, Joshua?
I mean, I think your Braves are doing pretty good. I think my Dodgers, maybe 2-3 spots behind you guys. The Orioles are holding things down.
Orioles are leading the AL.
Hey man, shout out to them, man. It's about time to continue to get right. Just stay on the right path.
Yeah. Also, if anyone's going to be in Chicago, I'm going to Chicago this weekend. I'm going to the Braves Cup Series. So if anyone's there, hit me up on Twitter or something like that. That'd be sick. But yeah, exciting stuff.
Let's see what's up with the JK situation.
I don't know. The Ravens don't need JK.
I'm not gonna say it's a holdout situation, nothing like that. It's just he's just trying to figure out his place in the NFL as a running back. I mean, running backs don't have the career expectation like they used to. And a lot of teams do rely heavily on their running backs to carry most of the load. And unfortunately, JK has not he hasn't been healthy his NFL career. So he's trying to secure something, and he doesn't have enough on his resume as of right now.
Yeah. Like you can't be demanding a raise when you've used all your vacation time and you've only been there for 3 weeks.
Pretty much.
I don't know. Can we get Chase Young? Yeah, we won't. I mean, it's not worth it. You get 1 year of him. Maybe you franchise tag him, but then
I don't even think he would go.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, wouldn't it be 15 or 20 million or something like that for a franchise tag?
It would probably be 20 million for an edge rusher franchise tag.
That's a hefty hit.
Unless you classify him as a kicker, and then it'll be 6 million.
Yeah, I don't think Chase gonna go for that, man. I don't think Chase gonna go for that, man.
All right, everyone. I think that's probably going to wrap it up. Not a ton of news. I can't wait for the pregame, postgame streams to come back. That's when we have so much fun on the live streams. There's just not been a lot to talk about recently. The Ravens, it's not like there's free agents the Ravens need to get. The Ravens are set. And it's all right, we're just waiting to see them play, waiting to see what they do. And
it's a good thing if you look at it too. It's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a very good thing.
I mean, the only thing I don't know they kept it quiet was Trayvon Mullen. They released him and signed him back the next day. So outside of that, it's nothing but good news. Everybody is back to work, working hard. And they just iron sharpens iron, man. They're getting better every day, man. So I mean, like I said, I feel like this is going to be an interesting season. I'm not predicting Super Bowl this year. I'm predicting AFC championship game, honestly, because there's a lot of expectations, but we just gotta be realistic about these things.
Yeah. Well, everyone, thank you all so much for coming through. Thanks so much for all the questions and everything like that. We always. it makes it so much more fun when you guys are asking questions and we're not just sitting here talking to nobody. So we really do appreciate everyone that comes in, especially, Lisa, Adam, Don C, Chris Reed. You guys are always in here showing love. YPC Dro as well. Thank you guys all so much for coming through. It feels like every single stream. It really does mean a lot that you guys are here. I'm working on getting back to posting more. I've been crazy busy at work. After I go on this, I'm going to be recording a bit when I'm in Chicago and stuff, so I'll have some more stuff out soon, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait for this season to start, especially preseason. Next time we see you guys after a live stream, football will have returned, so that's always fun. All right, thank you. I'll see all of you again next time.